2 days of mourning have begun in India for the singer Lata Mangeshkar, the 92-year-old who is one of the country's biggest cultural icons, whose voice was heard on films spanning 8 decades. Lauded and honoured in her home country, her popularity extended around the world, as our arts editor Nina Nanar explains.
Draped in the national flag, her country in mourning. Today, Lata Mangeshkar was given full state honours for her funeral, as fans crowded the streets to say farewell. For 7 decades, the greatest Bollywood stars have lip-synced to her songs. Lata Mangeshkar's rich, high voice conveyed the emotions of every scene. For fans around the world, she symbolised the sound of Indian cinema. Like many British Asians, director Gurinder Chadha grew up listening to her music.
She has sung songs that have made people happy, made people sad. You know, we've laughed along, we've romanticised, we've cried along to her songs. So she's very much linked to the emotional beating heart of Indians, not just in India, but around the world.
She became a playback singer just as post-independence India was defining itself. Its cinema, characterised by its musical films, would play a big part in that. And she fought for more recognition for performers like herself.
Lata Mangeshkar is one person who unites India right across all religions, all classes, all economic strata of society. So when you talk of Lata Mangeshkar, you're talking of a person who is India and who therefore brings India together.
Lata Mangeshkar was revered, emulated and garlanded in her life. India has lost its nightingale, but not her songs.
Lata Mangeshkar, who's died aged 92.
The state funeral has taken place in Mumbai of one of India's greatest ever singers, Lata Mangeshkar. It was attended by huge crowds, including the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. She was 92 and a superstar of Indian cinema known to millions as the Nightingale of India. Her extraordinary career spanned 7 decades. Mr. Modi said she left a void in the nation that cannot be filled. Rajini Vaidyanathan looks back at her life.
She was one of the most recorded artists in history, with thousands of songs to her name. The voice of the silver screen, Lata Mangeshkar was a Bollywood playback singer. In Indian musicals, where actors rarely sing themselves, her vocals were dubbed over generations of leading ladies. She began singing when she was a young girl and grew into a megastar. With hit after hit, she defined the sound of the nation, famously moving Prime Minister Nehru to tears during one live performance. Singing in multiple languages, Lata Mangeshkar earned the nickname India's Nightingale. Seen here with her sister Asha Bhosle, also a well-known recording artist. Lata Mangeshkar continued making music well into her 80s. Composer Shamir Tandon was one of the last people to work with her.
She has defined the music industry in the 7.5 odd decades that she has been singing, because that's a lot for any human to be able to sing, because I don't think anywhere in the globe there has been any vocalist who's sung consistently for 7.5 decades.
Lata Mangeshkar's voice echoed well beyond here, her home city of Mumbai. In many ways, Bollywood songs are a universal language, transcending religious and political divides. And in that sense, Lata Didi, as she was known, spoke to millions of people around the world at times of love and loss, hope and happiness.
Lata Mangeshkar celebrated her 90th birthday in 2019. and joined Instagram, sharing these photos. In one of her last interviews to the BBC Asian network, she talked about reaching that milestone.
I've
reluctantly accepted I'm old, she said, but I feel like I'm 25. Her voice was ever youthful. It was one of a kind. If Bollywood is the soul of India, then Lata Mangeshkar was its beating heart.